Welcome to I'm Not Your Typical Anorexic Skinny Biatch. Anyway, my neck hurts today. Oh, I need a massage. Any of you guys out there can give me... Oh, God, that feels good. Ooh, soften it. Okay, very good. No, it's not. Oh, I need money. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, how did I become like this? Okay. Yeah, well, I came from a dysfunctional family. But before I bring in that, I'm really into women being who they are, their bodies being loved by themselves, and, creating that love, out there in the world. Because a lot of women have such low self-esteem because, they think they have to live up to some stupid image. Well, I'm 54, baby. And I love myself. I wasn't always like this, though. Because, actually I was. But I mean, my esteem got better. I came from a dysfunctional family. My mother was a Croatian neurotic woman. Let me show you. Let me show you what I grew up with. This is what I grew up with. Charlene, I don't like the fact that you have a stomach. Why don't you flatten it out because you won't be able to get a man? You won't be able to get a man. God, that gives me sinus headache. Yeah, and I gotta tell you something. Why am I always spitting right here? I don't understand this. It's gross. Like I came from a very dysfunctional family. Like, to give you an example, my mother and father got married after 2 weeks of knowing each other. 2 weeks. I mean, my mother didn't even know that my father had a prosthetic ear. Till 1 minute she was sucking it, and the next minute it was lost in the sofa. It's crazy. Excuse me while I loosen my head. Oh, it's just like, it's so crazy. It's like, why get married so quickly? You know what I mean? I mean, after that, whenever she was angry at him, she'd yank his ear off, throw it across the room, and say, that's what you get for not listening to me. There were times when she grabbed the wrong ear and threw my dad across the room. I mean, he had actually a prosthetic ear. Can you believe? He actually lost his ear, believe it or not. This was, back, I was born in 1961, but in the 50s, he was driving his cheap-ass car down Pacific Coast Highway, and he fell asleep. He had a tendency to do that, and it tumbled or something, or, and his ear got sliced off. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. And my mother didn't have any teeth in her mouth. He didn't have an ear. She was missing a fingernail that she lost in a fungus infection in Brazil. As a kid, I accepted all this. But as a kid, when I walked into their bedroom and saw a dildo on the table, I didn't know that was removable too. Okay? It's like my family was in pieces, And it's interesting because I love animals. I adore animals, and I enjoy everything. I love everything. I love, even snails, because snails are so in the moment. If you look at a snail, they're not in a hurry to pay the IRS, or, they're not looking into the future or the past. They're right in the moment. You can learn a lot from a snail. I mean, I've actually sat with a snail for 15, 20, 30 minutes. That's because I haven't gotten laid since 2002. But that's beside the point. And it's very, very educational to watch animals. It really, really is. It's amazing, actually. But, my mother used to step on snails and say, oh, they're just bad. They're going to eat my plants. And I used to go around saving them. Isn't that interesting? She would crush them and kill them, and I would actually go save them. Even now, if I see like for instance, a week ago, I saw a snail on the floor outside, and I picked it up, and I put it in a safe place on a wall. It suctioned onto the wall. I can imagine what that snail was thinking. Bitch. It's going to take me 6 weeks to get back to where I was. My uncles and cousins. That's okay. Snails are great, though. Have you ever watched them? Maybe if I actually was more fluid with my neck and head, I could be like a snail. Because if you look at snails, I can imagine going to Trader Joe's, and acting like a snail. It would, because it would be so in the moment, you know what I'm saying? Instead of being in the future and the past and all that other crap. I can imagine going to Trader Joe's and coming up to one of the workers and going, do you have some brown rice? What oil is it in? Oh, coconut oil. I think it'd be a trip, People aren't real enough in LA. People, you go to like a store or whatever, and people that the cashiers go, how are you? They don't really give a shit how you are. They want you to say, fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. They don't want you to tell the truth. Yeah, I feel like shit right now. They don't want you to be authentic, you know what I mean? It's really sad. In New York, they're much more real. In California, it's like, oh, it's just the sun. Anyway, my head hurts. But remember, I'm not your typical anorexic, skinny bitch. Catch me next week. Bye, boo-boo.